Hey guys, we are continuing Unit 6 on scatter plots and relationships, and this TEK is 8.5D. Like with the other one, I'm going to use the notes from last year, but let's describe what this is. We're going to use a trend line to approximate the linear relationship between sets of data to make predictions. Okay. So I've got a couple examples here, and this is how they're going to kind of do it on the test. So you're going to have a graph, and you're going to see the trend is doing something. This trend is going up. And it says the graph shows the average number of hours. Here's your hours. 10 basketball players practice weekly. And the average number of free throws the players made during the season. So here's their average hours of practice. And here's the number of free throws. It says using the trend line, and this one is drawn for us. Most of the time it won't be drawn for us. If another member of the team practiced an average of 14 hours a week, what is a good prediction of the number of free throws he would make? So here's my hours, and I'm going to go to 14. And I'm going to draw this line up to the trend line. Actually, I'm going to go all the way up the graph. So here's my 14. And I can see that this trend line is going to hit about here. So it's going to take us to about 8. If he practices 14 hours, the average number of free throws would be 8. Okay? Now, most of the time they're not drawn. So what we like to do is you can either draw a line through the middle of the data, like they did, or sometimes you could draw a line at the bottom of the data and then at the top of the data. And then you would pick the point that's in between those two lines, which would give us about the same thing. Those are the two different ways to do the lines. Kind of drawing the line in the middle is probably one of the better ways. So we looked at the hours. We knew they were 14. We went up and over, and we can see our answer is 8. Let's look at this next one. The graph below shows the number of students who wore shorts to school at different temperatures. So here's our temperature, and here's the number of students. It says if 200 students wore shorts to school, what is the best prediction of the temperature? So here's 200. I'm going to draw that line all the way over. And I can see that it's going to hit this trend line about here. And this one, see, this one is, yeah, so about right here, I guess. So if we're looking at the answers, we can see that 83 would be 80, 81, 82, 83 would be here. So that's not going to work. 88 is too hot. That's not going to work. 90 is over here. That's not going to work. But where it hits this line and the trend line is right there at 86. So 86 is the best prediction. And if they would have did it with the two lines, it still would have worked as well. You wouldn't count this one. That would be kind of like the outlier. You would draw that one, and then you would try to get your points measured here. Remember, it's predictions. And there it is right in the middle of those two lines. Most of the time, like with our other predictions, if you mark off the lowest number and the highest number, like you can take this one off and this one off, and it's usually the two that are in the middle. It's one of those two, 9 times out of 10. So that'll do it for the 8.5D notes on trend lines and making predictions. If you have any questions, please let me know, and thank you for watching.